You. Time now for the legal landscape. Our legal analyst attorney Dan Adams is joining us every morning this week for the duration of Milwaukee's first state murder trial. Maxwell Anderson is on trial facing charges related to the killing of 19-year-old Shade Robinson last year. Good morning, Dan. Testimony yesterday showed security camera video from across the street from Anderson's house. Prosecutors were saying this kind of establishes a timeline for that night that they say Shade Robinson was killed, and it shows two people inside the home, then one person moving around the yard. Meantime, the defense says that video is too grainy to tell anything. What's your take on this evidence?
Sure. Good morning, Mallory. Yeah, well, evidence comes in many forms and of different qualities. And so here it's actually kind of amazing that in a neighborhood, not near any businesses, they were able to obtain any footage of the house in question during the time in question. And is it grainy? Yes, of course. It's nighttime surveillance type footage, but it clearly shows the location and the time that's relevant to this case. And it does create some timestamps of movement in that house. So we don't know exactly which figure is which. At some point, it's depicted actually the second story window, a movement there where Maxwell Anderson's unit was in that home. So it does, for the prosecution, create at least some chapter in this chronology of time that they're putting together for the jury. Again, what they want to show is that no other person other than Maxwell Anderson was with Shade Robinson prior to her being found dismembered across Milwaukee. And again, this video is not perfect, but given where it is on 39th and Oklahoma in a residential neighborhood in the city of Milwaukee, it's quite useful for the state.
Yeah, the location is kind of astonishing there. Yesterday, other evidence we saw were dozens of knives that detectives say they found inside Anderson's home. And also we heard from a detective who says he found Anderson's jacket that he's reportedly wearing on the bus footage. And he found that jacket in a trash can 10 days after Anderson's arrest. Is this important evidence? How does this play into what happened on that bus?
Sure. I think the latter evidence of the sweatshirt or the coat, which matches the coat worn by the subject in the bus video, is hugely important. One, it ties that person in the bus directly to Anderson's neighborhood there, his block, and it shows what we call consciousness of guilt. Why would somebody be throwing away a perfectly good sweatshirt into a neighbor's dumpster if you didn't want to hide that sweatshirt? It goes to the point that he was trying to wear something different on that bus than he normally would be as some type of a disguise or clothing that he could then discard and then disclaim that he ever had. And so the finding of that, again, it was 4 days, I think, after his arrest in a neighbor's can there. This is pretty important. Regarding the search of his house, it was underwhelming. Again, they found knives, but every house has knives. You think about how many knives you have in your kitchen. There was a decorative axe and maybe some decorative knives in his home, but none of these have been tied to any type of wrongdoing. There was no forensic evidence like blood or tissue or anything like that on any of these knives. And I think that's, again, the big hole in this case is why isn't there any forensic evidence, DNA, evidence of the carnage that would have had to have happened in this case? Why wasn't that found in the house? Again, we're going to have to wait, I suppose, to closing argument to see how the state explains that.
Yeah, a lot of evidence received and shown yesterday. We'll see what happens today in day 7 of this trial. Dan, thank you so much for your take. We'll see you again tomorrow for more of the legal landscape.